He's at the 15, 10, 5, he'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We'll get to that. Welcome to it. Happy Monday, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate y'all. Hope you had a great weekend, that your football itch got scratched, right? That the NFL gave you what was earned. 2 number 1 seeds in the Super Bowl. Doesn't happen enough, but we got it this year. Whether you like the 2 or not, that's who you got. 2 number 1 seeds facing each other in Super Bowl 57 from Arizona. Coming up in 2 weeks, 402-464-5685, Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you know the deal. Hit us with a what's up. Let's have a conversation. Don't just yell at us from the rafters. Don't drive by yelling at us. Stop and hit us with a what's up. Let us actually have a conversation and be a part of what we're talking about. Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter live. So you can see in studio, see what's going on. Feel like you're a part of the conversation as well. Jay Foreman, let them know about the Mercado.
Certified Piedmontese, special ingredients and butcher shop located at 84th and Havelock.
It was Tomahawks. It was Tomahawk Friday.
Yeah.
Jay Foreman, tell him about it.
It was. I haven't put it on the grill yet, man. It's too cold. But, as soon as we get above 30, I'm going to try to get out there, man. We need one of those odd days it's 40.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to wait for an hour for my grill to get up to, get up to a good temperature.
Do you keep your grill always ready? Weather ready?
Oh, yeah.
Clean all the time? So you're not waiting for the opportunity. You're not one of the people that
no,
you have
to be ready when it's time.
Like when it's time, it's clean anyway.
Yeah, if you really grill, if you bought your grill and you're going to clean it afterwards.
Okay, so describe for me the Foreman grill.
Which one?
Outside.
No, I mean I got 3.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I got the Traeger that you can smoke all your stuff and try to. The worst thing for me is if you see those guys on Instagram, it always looks good, And so I got a Traeger, then I got a gas grill. I had charcoal grill. Now I know people are going to start saying, you don't use. Yeah, I use charcoal. Trust me, I got.
I've never been outside the Foreman house, but I knew there's more than one grill at the Foreman house. Like it just.
So it just depends on what you want, man. if you got the basketball team over and you got to get some burgers and brats and hot dogs done, you throw it on the gas grills quick. And then if you're really trying to, do my tomahawk, I'm gonna do the charcoal and do it up right.
Describe for me the Foreman apron. Like when you really about making.
I don't have an apron, but I always just wear some old dingy clothes because you got to get dirty.
Well, okay, so that
you gotta have the sauces, and if your shirt and pants ain't dirty, then you ain't really.
You haven't really. Okay, yeah. Now equipment. Talk to me through on the equipment.
Anything and everything.
So you've got. Yeah. Do you have a belt? Do you have a Superman belt where you know?
No, see, I got
you whip it off the corner and.
No, I got hooks. I got hooks on the grill, so you can, it got a little thread to it, so they're all ready to go. Everything's clean, every single time. It's part of, of doing it.
What music is playing when Master Chef, Grillsman extraordinaire Jay Foreman?
Probably like More Bounce to the Ounce.
Yeah, okay.
More Bounce to the Ounce.
Okay.
Little Roger Zapp, and that's probably along those lines.
Okay. Look, I had the picture in my head.
It's summertime with DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. The extended version.
They don't know nothing about cookout music.
But it's got to be the extended
version. They don't know
version.
nothing about cookout music.
Because there's always, and then you do a little 5 minutes of funk on the last one because that's when you got to flip it a couple times, put the cheese on the burgers.
That is the and let you know.
Because it goes. It got to break it every minute, so you don't even have to put a timer out there. You just listen to the beat.
5 minutes of funk. We were going to educate. 5 minutes of funk. So you need that. All right, you need some Houdini like that. Let you know on the clock.
You got your feel good music.
More Bounce to the Ounce. Yeah. That's Zap. I mean, to help folks that don't know, Zap. You can Google it. Zap. More Bounce to the Ounce. Which, if you've gone through college and in your dorm room you have not turned on More Bounce to the Ounce and lost your ever loving mind, you fail.
Yeah.
Your college career is less than. Go. You're allowed to get in your car, put it on your phone, bounce it. Or go to your room, shut the door, or you know what? It could be in your living room. It could be in your living room.
Put your AirPods there. You all
right?
good, man.
It could be in your living room, and you could do that. DJ Jazzy at Fresh Prince, look,
Yeah,
summertime.
man, you gotta be out there cooking. Depends on what you're cooking, man. If you're doing that, I'm gonna have a drink or two out there and have a good time.
You can jump in on the text line and let us know what it is what is your grill. So if you're going to go out to grill, and I'm assuming, Texas, let us know, are you grilling for Super Bowl or are you indoors? Jay, are you grilling,
I'm not
for,
grilling
Super
for
Bowl?
Super Bowl.
You're going to let
going
somebody
to-
else do the work,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the question for you. Mississippi Mud Dog says, Jay, important question. What are you drinking while you're grilling?
Just
That's
depends.
a good question. Like that, I'm all into
That depends. Sometimes if I'm like if it's some brats, I might do some Spotted Cow. I'm not a big beer drinker, so I like the Spotted Cow. Maybe a little cider beer, and then if I'm really getting down on some ribs or something, and it might be a little Jack and Coke, a little
I understand.
little tequila or something like that. Just depends.
From the text line, it says this, say, Jay, solid setup. I've got the same, but recently introduced a Blackstone to the arsenal.
Yes, I have one of those too.
See,
Champion.
this is what I'm talking about.
That's the champion.
This is a Hall of Fame grill setup. Like, this is not
This is
not
I
for
grew
the
up
amateur.
watching, though. See, like what my dad, grandfather, and them. So that's what they did all. Now I wasn't allowed to participate. I was allowed to watch.
Pork Chop out here showing off.
So that's what I.
Can
that's
you
how I
see?
learned.
Can you see Pork Chop's text?
So with some people, they
Pork Chop was showing off. You were showing off on the grill yesterday. Didn't invite anybody. Nobody in the station got a text from Pork Chop. Pork Chop, shame on you.
He did it big, man.
Shame on you. How did you not? He didn't make us a plate or nothing.
This is when you know that they doing it. He got the fridge out there as a smoker, but then they cooking when it's cold out. That's when you know you a real grill.
Jeremy, the grill master, who came through to start our football season. So Austin, you missed it. Start our football season last year. Jeremy, the grill master, pulled up out in the parking lot, took over the entire parking lot, and grilled for everybody. All the talent, all the staff, all the listeners. Jeremy put it down. He did work. Jeremy, let's set up your next visit. Okay, because you had the full setup. So we need to do that. We want to thank the folks from Canterbury Street Market for hooking us up as well, because they hooked it up as well. So when we actually call you the grill master, you earned it. Like that was crazy. That was crazy. In the folder today, there is a clip from yesterday morning. So Harrison, super producer Harrison, yesterday on the Breeze with me and my buddy Hosta Breezy, we challenged him to do a wrestling promo for the weekend in the NFL. And so Harrison, who does Ticket Weeknights, he may have put it in. Look at Mark's email. Mark put it in there in email, and it was spectacular because we challenged him with no notice to give us a pro wrestling promo on the NFL games on Championship Sunday.
Yeah.
And Harrison, without any preparation time or other, crushed it. So if Mark Onweiler is listening, we'll bring it when we come back. I'll have Mark pull it up and we'll bring it. Jay Foreman, I was proud of him. I got emotional having Harrison come up creatively, because pro wrestling's not his thing, but he's bought it. He did the thing.
They said Brock Purdy tore his UCL, man.
Yeah.
All right. So
but here's the other thing, right? Harrison called it.
I don't know, man.
Harrison called it. He called it. He was like, no, it's going to be more like Brock Purdy. And we were just like, oh man, that is cold blooded. So it was an interesting Sunday. Lots to break down. We'll talk about the two teams that won, the two teams that lost, and what it means. Because through all wreckage, there's a new league that happens after teams lose in championship games. It changes the way teams prepare, changes how people go into the offseason. And then we'll do the first preview of the Super Bowl and go through what we can expect from the coaches, from the star players. You've got 1A and 1B of MVP candidates, right? That was there. Probably the coach of the year. in that
In
space,
Philly, yeah,
right?
probably.
So
Yeah.
we've got all that,
Ho hum Andy Reid, right?
right? Like, oh, I'm just here
Yeah.
again.
For like
what-
the 85th time, like you
he's just standing like,
Yeah.
do something. You don't
Yeah.
like me here, do something. Get better.
he definitely it's crazy. He was really dominant in Philly, and he went to Kansas City and gotten even better.
Which, like, he
Would you
was
like
in
to
the
know
Hall of
he-
Fame, but I think now people can actually speak of him that way. All right, well, before we go to break, and we have lots to talk about, we have the promo that Harrison cut, literally impromptu. He cut it. We gave him probably 6 minutes to come up with this. This was before kickoff yesterday.
Mhm.
This was Harrison on the Breeze Sunday morning.
Single H, let's go.
Now listen here. You listen up close. The clock is ticking. Brock Purdy is going to be more like Brock Dirty after he picked up all the stains off his jersey after playing the Eagles. Kittle, more like brittle. Christian McCaffrey's going to be crying after this catastrophe. It's going to be a disaster. Fly, Eagles, fly. You heard it here from Big H, the H. Fly, Eagles, fly.
And the fact that it's Harrison, who is
Yeah.
the most calm, tepid human being ever. Like, Harrison is the most chill human we have at the station. And
he's
for
still-
him-
so he's an Eagles fan.
No,
Oh,
no, Harrison is not an Eagles fan, but he was just in his space. We challenged him, hey, can you do this wrestling promo? He pulled it off. I'm proud of him because it took him out of his comfort zone.
right.
For Harrison to become kind of hyper aggressive, it's just not his style. I'm proud of the guy. I
That was
just
pretty good, Harrison.
like that. That's pretty good for him to go through his space. We're throwing the break. When we come back to Old School, we'll have Jay Foreman give his recap of what we saw yesterday, and then we're going to introduce you to somebody else. Put them under the microscope and onto the hot seat here on Old School 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit ASBMidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Appreciate you folks on the text line. You're active early. Grateful and appreciative of that. Got to tell Jay Foreman that tomorrow we'll have company. We'll have company.
We will.
The Firestarter, the CEO Firestarter makes her first trip to Nebraska. Francis Reimers is coming. Francis Reimers is coming to Nebraska, and tomorrow, 4:00, she's going to be in studio. She's coming, and she's bringing her Buffalo Bills jersey.
Oh, okay.
Well, because one of her clients was an offensive lineman for the Bills. Now I think he left the Bills and went to the Giants, but another one space, and she represents Aaron Donald.
Oh yeah,
as well. So she's got a crew of folks, Commanders, Ravens. She's all over the place, but it's good to have her in studio tomorrow. She's making the trip as well. There's several things in play. What's the headline, Jay, from Bengals Chiefs?
Yeah.
What's the headline?
The headline is definitely Patrick Mahomes doing what he does, man. I mean, I think when I talked about it with Kenny on Friday, I was like, Patrick, it seems Patrick Mahomes has been, I think every year he's been starting, he's been to the AFC Championship, I think, like 5 years in a row. Now he only has one Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, he's been pretty dominant. So just a quick glimpse, you're like, oh, he's that's enough. Or it's like he's older, like he's over the hill. Like he hadn't even hit his prime yet. And for it to him to be shunned, sometimes, when you get backed into a corner, whether it's a legacy or just questioning his greatness or questioning him as the best, because I'm sure he feels he's head and shoulders the best quarterback in the league. Now, I know he don't want to see Brady in those situations, but at the end of the day, right now, what he's dealing with, he figures he knows he's the best. He feels like it. And when he's questioned and he's challenged, ankle sprain or not, that he led them, with the 4th, 5th, and 6th receiver and threw for 326 yards, no interceptions, made the game-winning run on a hobbled ankle at the end of the game where he, obviously gets a little bit sore. And so he,
come on, linebacker, tell me true. Tell me too. What's going through Osai's brain?
I mean, look, he's 260-some pounds. He's going full speed.
Runs a 4.6 40. So we're not talking about.
It's hard for him to stop.
Right?
Now, ideally, you would like to. He's trying to stop him from getting the first down. He's a young kid. Ideally, you'd like him not to hit him. But, to be honest with you, there was plays before that lost him the game. The punt return lost him the game. Whether it was a block in the back or not, I think that was probably more of a flop trying to get the call.
You don't think that Mahomes flopped on the tap on the back?
It went got pushed out of bounds?
Yeah.
He sold
it,
but the contact was clearly out of bounds.
Yeah, the contact was there.
The contact and
WWE sold that. Like he went,
but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if he stood. The contact was out of the bounds, and he got hit hard enough to fall. Now the flopping and all that stuff, you sell it. That's what guys do. So I mean, it's a penalty. I feel sorry for the young man because he. Out of all the defensive linemen, he played the best, and everybody's talking about that one play, and everybody's talking about his teammate Pratt, going into the locker room and why'd you hit the quarterback? Well, on the game-changing play, the Chiefs ran ideally, it was the one that where Tony Romo. I don't know what Tony Romo was saying. I know what it sounded like.
Hello,
I don't know.
Tony Romo.
Who you hanging out with that you freely?
You
just
know
saying
who
that
he's
is?
hanging out with. Des told you that's my QB. Like he used some
Tony-
family
yeah,
cookout
I
language.
think Tony Romo showing up at the cookout saying what's
Right?
happening.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, come on, be rad.
So,
Like it was.
yeah. So, well, anyways, on that play, it was a simple screenplay to Pachinko, the running back, dead in the rights. There's 3 guys there. They had him out leveraged to the sidelines, inside runner, and then a straight on alley filler. And Pratt was one of the guys that missed the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Now you should not miss a tackle if you 3 have me surrounded. As great as I might have been in high school or college,
Jay, look at you and look at the rest of us. You're plowing. You're running.
You guys would have got.
You're running
me.
over.
You
us,
should
Jay.
be able to, in the NFL. You should be able to get those guys.
See, Jay thinks of himself as a basketball player with a football player's heart. Like he just in his mind, he's a basketball player who just happened to muscle up to play linebacker because it paid well.
And I was vertically challenged after about my junior year. But
what was that extra 30 you put on from?
that in the weight program. But he missed the tackle. I mean, look, I understand it. It's a huge play, and they came out and he obviously the kicker made it. It sucks for him, but it's a penalty. It is. Would I'd like the ref not to call it? Probably. I would have liked him not to call it. I just felt like the officials. Now the whole extra plays and all that stuff, they actually weren't wrong. The guy came on the field. Now, granted, when it's crazy, granted, now the Chiefs were on offense, so he should have been blowing his whistle and be more authoritative. But he did call the play dead. And then on the pass interference, Eli Apple was more than pass interference. It was flat out like tackling him, and they got him off the field. But overall, in the 49ers
Do you
game,
think the pass interference late in the drive, the simple hand on the hip?
Now that's a little ticky-tacky when it's late like that. Now, I will tell you,
and that's the drive.
But
that's the entire drive, is that when I have a simple rule, and for me, if it doesn't change the result of the play, that we're taught as coaches when we ask the question is, did it impact the result of the play?
Right. But
and
you know that
foul.
But you got to know how they're calling it anyways.
Okay.
And the fact that you have Eli Apple on your team, see, this is what people don't understand. It's not the NFL is not rigged, but the refs. If you ever watch that Netflix show, refs are petty. Okay? And they do not like in the NFL is not petty, but
the Shield has its own rule.
When Eli Apple tweeted out the tweet at Hamlin with was it Cancun on 3 and the thing like that, you put a target on your back.
Yep.
Like the NFL is fine with you calling Burrow, head and all that. They're fine with all that.
True.
But when you do something like that, now the target's on you. So now you put all your teammates in the crosshairs.
Yeah.
So if you don't think that the refs weren't cognizant of that, then you don't have any sense of reality. So that's Eli Apple's fault.
But you were in Buffalo at levels of success where often local politicians will speak for the city and put the players in a target.
That's just the way. First of all, Cincinnati just started getting good. You can't fault them for it. The players were wolfing. They felt like they were doing it. They were riding high off of went up there and beat the brakes off of Buffalo. They embarrassed Buffalo. And to be honest with you, the way that Buffalo's defense is played, the defensive coordinator should be fired. I like Leslie Frazier. I hate saying it. He's a great man.
He's going to call you.
I don't care. I have his number in text.
Right. I was going to say, he's going to call you and say.
That's horrible. He played horrible. And it is what it is. Cincinnati put their own target on their back. If they would have just been humble and said, we're going to go in there and do what we need to do, and then after you beat Kansas City.
Is there any team in the NFL that's at this level humble?
Well, yeah, the Patriots done it all the time. But then they wolf afterwards.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Patriots talk enough in the offseason.
You wolf afterwards. It's just like when they went out to San Diego, and San Diego had LaDainian Tomlinson and Gates and Sean Merriman. And then after they beat them in the playoffs, what were they, 14-2?
Yep.
Right? And you seen them doing the lights out and all the other stuff. And then in LaDainian Tomlinson's feelings were hurt. Well, at the end of the day, You asked for it. We came and gave it to you. Now we're going to
Why you mad?
Now we're going to give you a
Why
party.
are you mad?
Right? It's no different than Richard Sherman going up to Brady after kind of when they were kind of the year before they kind of made their run, asking Brady, "Why you mad, bro?" and all the other stuff. Cincinnati put a target on the back, but at the end of the day, at the bottom, at the base of it, Joe Burrow didn't play good. I know, and I wanted Cincinnati to win for this. I didn't even care who won after Buffalo lost. I had reason. I don't like Patrick Mahomes' brother in the way that the Kansas City fans are. No offense, because they're just
can't help it.
They can't help themselves, right? Because they've been horrible for so long. And then Nick Gregas, all his text messages. I mean, dude.
You know what I got mad about this weekend?
But here's why I wanted Cincinnati to win. Because I wanted to come in here and be able to talk about why Scott Frost ain't signed that man.
Right. You can still talk about it. You can still talk about it because it's a story. Like, it's a real thing. Can I ask the question? Okay, so this weekend, this is where the fans that bother me show up. Now, I'm not talking about the regular fans. I'm talking about folks who claim to be super fans
of Kansas
City. And they said, I know everything about the Chiefs. And then I asked, well, who's the first person to do an end zone dance
for the Chiefs?
No, I didn't even put that on.
Yeah.
Who was the first person in the NFL with a known end zone celebration? And this super Chiefs fan, who's supposed to know everything, didn't know who Elmo Wright was, and I was, wait a minute. Wait a minute. How you can't even put on the colors?
You could ask them who the best linebacker for the Chiefs ever, and hopefully they would have said Derek Thomas.
They better.
Or they could have said Bobby Bell.
Or Willie Lanier. I don't know. I don't know. Virginia's finest.
Yeah,
say Willie Lanier.
But they might be too young. They might be awesome. They don't know. But, Derek Thomas is definitely in everybody's young or old mind.
It upset me that here they were. And I said, well, do the dance. If you're a Chiefs fan, do the Elmo Wright celebration.
If they're a Chiefs fan, they're a modern day Chiefs fan ever since Andy, maybe since
Come on, Austin. Come on, Austin.
I was gonna say, I saw, as a Royals fan myself, I saw a lot of that when they made their 2 postseasons in 14-15. I'm sure Kansas City is a great sports town, not having lived there. I'm sure they're fine people, but they jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah, they do.
And they jump on and they hold on for dear life.
That should be on a shirt.
You know what the worst is?
Kansas City Chiefs fans. I'm sure they're fine people.
You know what the worst is? People send me texts. Are you cheering for the Chiefs? Why? Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding? Like, I'm not a fan. Like, I want to see a good football. Like, because Buffalo lost, all of a sudden now, since
you owe it to them to be a Chiefs fan? No.
That is the greatest low-key burn ever. Like, for whoever your rivals are. Oh, you're an Iowa fan?
Yeah.
They must be nice people. They're nice people.
Kansas City, and I'm gonna tell you this though. Kansas City has a intimidation factor when you go there. Now I'm gonna say this. Now I played up in Seattle, both when they were indoors, and I felt like up until I went to Kansas City, I was like, holy crap, this is like deafening in here. Especially when Cortez Kennedy literally went up and down the line and was like, yeah, I'll kick your butt. Literally was like, all right, I'm just going to make the Hall of Fame of all your guys. And that was including Reuben Brown, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Cortez Kennedy was off the chain this day. So then I'm like, I got to Kansas City and we played them. And we were in the playoff hunt, so we're there, and we played them. And it was kind of like on a December kind of overcast day. You know what their intimidation is when you go to Kansas City Stadium? It's the barbecue. It's like you come in there, you got your headphones on because we stayed right across the highway, right? So there's no point in getting on the early bus or late bus. You're there at all the same time. But you go to the bus and you smell the barbecue and it takes your edge off. It does. It just like, man, because I'm riding up to the game like, dang, that smells like some ribs.
It's in it gets to the bus, to the team bus driving up.
When you cross the highway, right? And I don't know if they still have the hotel there. When you cross,
they do. There's nothing in Kansas City.
Okay,
the stadium. There's nothing there.
Right.
Austin is on fire. What is happening?
Oh no, if you ever not been there,
yeah, no, I love it.
Nothing.
But Austin is killing today.
Have you been to the stadium?
Yes.
Yeah, like literally, there's
a Denny's.
It's a Clarion. It's a Denny's and a Clarion hotel, and it's actually pretty nice. And then you go across the highway, and then you got to fight they tailgate. And then the good thing about Kansas City, we beat them. And they were. I mean, they'd give you some barbecue after. They were cool.
Yeah, I mean the
least they could.
That's the after party. I was with the Chargers when the Chargers, because the Chargers play them all the time, and this is in the junior Seau section, and the Stan Humphreys when they're going to Super Bowl team. So when they came to Kansas City, it was a problem. Like it was like, okay, the after party in the parking lot, the players' parking lot, like the Chargers knew they were coming to get a win, and then said, well, we're going to stay a while. We're going to delay the team flight to get some of this KC barbecue and celebrate with the fans. And they would say, thanks for inviting me to your KC Chiefs party. I didn't mean to eat your food and beat your team,
you guys
but I got
it. I was lucky enough. A couple ex-Huskers were there, so they brought me over, got some barbecue. But on top of that, that was the loudest stadium I ever played in my life, ever. It was 3.5 hours.
What's the three loudest? Give me the three loudest that you played.
Pittsburgh, Seattle. The loudest is Kansas City. The second loudest, I would probably say Pittsburgh. And then Seattle. But literally it was 4 hours of I just stopped talking. Like literally, I remember talking to Bruce Smith and Phil Hansen, where Bruce was like, "Man, stop yelling at me." Right? But Bruce didn't care, because here's how Bruce is. Bruce gonna do his thing. So even if Bruce makes a mistake, it's my fault. You know what I'm saying?
Look, rookie.
Right. There's no, hey, Bruce, you should be in the C gap. It's Jay. You see him in the C. Now you go to the B gap where you play off of him. So Phil Hansen was always cool. So I'm literally from me to DP with my helmet yelling at Phil Hansen for a check. Talking about a check before we go into the game, because Kansas City's defense is on the field, and it was like the ground was shaking. And I remember thinking, like, damn, like this is crazy. In 3 hours, and then you get in the locker room, and your head and ears are ringing.
So
the barbecue was needed.
Let's take a break there. When we come back, we'll do the last segment of the first hour, Old School. I want to introduce somebody to you, and then we'll get into game 2 of the championship Sunday. Lots to talk about. That game set off a lot of folks, and it paints a wonderful picture for Super Bowl Sunday. But we'll do that when we come back to Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for The Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relief. The team at The Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more, or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day workweek schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Cloudy skies with a few flurries possible this morning. A little bit of sunshine mixing in this afternoon. It will remain cold with a high of 14. North winds at around 10. Clearing tonight with a low all the way down to 2. Mainly sunny and much warmer tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high on Tuesday of around 28. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment, hour one, Old School on a Monday. Again, happy Monday. Hopefully your weekend was exceptional. Lots to talk about in the Husker athletic department. The track team had an exceptional week, moved up in the rankings. The wrestling team, shout out to Coach Mark Manning, win number 300 in his career. Attaboy, Coach. Win number 300, an exceptional dominating performance over Wisconsin. I believe they won 7 out of 10 matches with 3 bonus point matches. So those maximum efforts were good. That's a top 10 wrestling program. And again, if they weren't in the Big Ten, they'd be dominating somebody else's conference. But great work with that as well. Shout out to our dude. Listen, earlier this year, we announced that we were going to have one of the student athlete shows with Sam Hoiberg. And people are like, why in the world would you do that? And I'm saying, listen, young dude's a baller. He's just waiting his time. He's just waiting his time. And they're like, nah, it's only because it's coach's son. Well, it didn't hurt. But let me say, Sam Hoiberg, next Husker up, they needed him. Sam went out and balled out this weekend.
Yeah, good for him, man.
Balled out.
If you watched him in high school, first of all, Sam's been around basketball and NBA guys his whole life, and so he knows how to play. If you watched him when he was at Pius X, the home of Nick.
St. Nicholas.
And so you when you watched him and his brother in high school, you could see that they could play, and they could play against some good teams. They played the Hunter Salases and all that. Now, granted, those are college players, so that's the only thing you can evaluate off. And he had no problem getting to the rack then. And he knew how to get to the rack. He knew how to finish through contact. He could shoot. And so, are you expecting him to have, 15, 16 points every game? No, but he's a guy that he knows how to play, and he plays the right way. I'm sure there's guys that are better than him, but when, he got his chance, that's what you want. I know it's the coach's son, but at the end of the day, he came ready to play. So you can't use that as an excuse against him when he's going to show up and play.
I was impressed, and I probably over-cheered. But that's okay, because
hey,
we know the journey.
Like, don't think homeboy ain't yoked up and he ain't got no edge to him. Anybody that he got a little dude, got that Barry White voice, so he good.
Right? Like, yeah. I don't have pipe envy, but he came in and
but his dad don't got it. I wonder where he got it from.
Right, like I asked Carol Hoiberg. I was like, "What happened?"
You know what it is. You want to know where he got it from? When Fred was up in Minnesota with the Timberwolves, and that's when I was still playing. He probably was in the locker room, man. Barry White and listen to all those guys.
Get some bass in your voice.
Yeah.
You better get some bass in your voice, young man.
All those deep voices in there. Gary Trent and all them guys. So you just mimic them.
Man, good stuff. We're gonna introduce somebody. We're gonna pull her to the microphone. Get up in here again as a part of what we're doing and in our growth and expansion and our investment in the university and some of the talented folks who are over there. There are people that, quite frankly, have it. They have a factor that makes you lean in and makes you pay attention. And there's a young lady that she's going to intern with us for a bit. You met Molly last week. This week, Caroline comes to the table and brings it. Caroline, introduce yourself to the fan base.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Caroline, and, we had some Chiefs slander here before the break. So I am on here wearing my Victory Monday sweatshirt. So I am from Kansas City. Very big Chiefs fan. Would not call myself a super fan because I wouldn't be able to name quite a few of those players. I mean, I'm only
There's
22, so
there's
it's
time.
there's but I am a very loyal fan, very dedicated. So
tell the people how you and I met.
Yeah, so DP and I actually, he spoke to one of my broadcasting classes here at the university, and just got in contact, and here we are, radio station. We've been in contact for probably a little over 3 months now. So yeah.
What does the future look like for you in your dreams and your ideal? What would you do in this space?
Yeah, so this space for me is really just about learning, what I want to do. I do graduate in May, so really figuring out the route that I want to take in sports marketing, corporate partnerships, broadcasting, sports media. There's just so much under the umbrella that I'm in right now, and I'm very, very grateful for that too. So I'm really excited to be here and really just explore and learn all there is about radio and beyond that too.
Behind the microphone or behind the board, which seems like a more natural fit for you?
Oh gosh. Well, I think I see myself more behind the board, behind the scenes, really doing more promotional things and reaching out to people in Lincoln, for example, for the ticket, and beyond that in Nebraska. But maybe on the mic here and there, we'll see. But it should be a fun semester. So.
Well, I'm going to throw you under the bus because you and Molly are going to have an hour each week.
Okay.
And to be in full disclaimer, you and Molly are buds.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think we met on the very first day of class freshman year, and I think we've been best friends ever since. So that 1 hour show is going to be interesting. It'll be fun though. I mean, a lot of energy. So.
That's going to be the plan forward, is to put you in this space, make you take crap from the Jay Foremans and Eric Stricklands of the space.
I won't take it personally.
What'll happen is that next level of skin will develop, and you'll go back at him like, "Excuse me, Mr. Hall of Famer Jay Foreman."
No, it's never personal. Trust me.
No, that's how it is. Well, Caroline, thank you for being a part of what we do. And you're giving me hope in the future in this space because, quite frankly, I don't want to do this forever, and I'd love to hand it over to people that love it the way I do, and you absolutely do. And I'm looking forward to the version you become.
Yeah, should be fun. Thanks, DP.
No, good stuff. We'll throw it a break. Second hour, old school coming up. We'll talk about IGGLES, Eagles.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
Hair loss and thinning is chronic, progressive, and frustrating. What we know is that the earlier it's diagnosed and treated aggressively, the better the long-term results. QC Kinetics offers a unique and comprehensive approach to restoring and improving hair follicle density and hair thickness. The majority of hair loss can be managed medically without the need for surgery. Their multifaceted approach to hair restoration allows them to help you improve both the appearance and thickness of your hair. Call QC Kinetics in Lincoln today at 402-205-4270 or go to QCkinetics.com.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you can earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Second hour of Old School on a Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully you had a great weekend and a great work day Monday. You're 9 to 5, you're 8 to 5, whatever it was, hopefully. And then you folks are in school and you're in the car with mom and dad. Be sure to give them a hug and say thank you for them picking you up and being there to love you. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. If you want to be a part of the conversation, hit us with a what's up. Just what's up. And then we'll get into the conversation. You'll be a part of what we do. The Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter live. So you can see what's going on in studio. Shout out to Caroline Frank for joining us and adding to the show. Jay Foreman, let them know about the Mercado.
Certified Piedmontese special ingredients and butcher shop located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut.
You know, from the text line, Believer says this. It says, y'all want to see crazy, try to go to the store the day before it's supposed to snow in Texas. You better be able to tackle like Jay because they will run off with all the stuff. Actually been there. I was in Houston, when they had their big start. It really was comical to have Texans, South Texans.
Well, people in Texas will wear mink or fur coats or winter like coats and hats and gloves when it's like 50 degrees, 40 degrees.
Yes.
Like, and they will hole up, like act like the world is in it.
Like they will frown.
Yeah.
They will frown at you because it's under 50. Like it's 50 degrees. The snow, when the snow happened, again, in Houston, it's different than Dallas. Dallas-Fort Worth is prepared, or at least.
Yeah, because they get it. I mean, they're close. They're pretty much Oklahoma.
But they also didn't have enough snow plows. So when the Super Bowl was in Dallas, we were down there for that one. And the town, like we made the last flight. This is the week of the Super Bowl. And it snowed. And they had a snowstorm in Dallas. And we made the last flight in. Well, they shut down the airports for a bit because they didn't have enough snowplows to clear the runways for people to come in. And then the entire Super Bowl week, it was held up because people didn't know how to drive and how to maneuver in the snow. My buddy, Wynn McNamee, Barry Thompson was my first high school quarterback. Wynn McNamee, who was America's greatest Associated Press photographer. His dad was award-winning Associated Press photographer. Wynn photographs the White House, the inauguration, Super Bowls, any great event in this country and around the world. Wynn McNamee is the guy. He was in Dallas, and we were supposed to meet up. And he goes missing for 2 days. The 2 days in Super Bowl. I'm like, I know you're here. Like, he texted me saying he was here. Jay, he was showing up to the Super Bowl, arrived at Jerry World, and the snow that had built up on the top of the stadium avalanched off, hit him, sent him to the ICU, like broke several bones, the whole thing. And we didn't know till later. It was like, yeah, Wynn's in the hospital because the snow off the dome fell off and hit him. And I was like, okay, Texas, this is terrible. I believe there was the Steelers and Packers for that Super Bowl in Dallas. So yeah, Texas was not ready.
No,
they had to go. They had to hire out to surrounding states for their snowplows to come in and help them out. Jay, how many Super Bowls have you been to?
I've never been to a game. I went to Atlanta once, and then it had it one year where it was in Houston.
But you went for the festivities rather than the
I
game
never
itself.
I'm not going to go to a game. I always told myself I'm not going to, which probably obviously will change it. I was only going to go to the Super Bowl if I was playing in it, but when you play for the Texans for 3 years, you ain't got no chance. You're right in my prime of my career. I'm in the depths of hell. So, that was overshot. I overshot the runway there, and but no, I've never been.
I have to say it is my favorite. For a long time, it was my favorite. UFC pay-per-view is not my favorite thing to
Sporting
go to.
event, you mean?
Sporting event. The Super Bowl, Becky and I would go. We probably went to 5 out of like 8. And that was kind of our vacation. We just had a blast. Like we just had a great time. And we it's a thing that we would do.
Right.
Until we went to a UFC pay-per-view. And that is now
that's better than boxing?
Bruh, it's like I've been to Vegas.
I've been to a couple of those.
I've been to Vegas, old school Vegas, for Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, Duran. Like I've been to some super boxing cards.
Right.
But UFC does it better. It does, like the event is better. I don't know because duration of fights, the length of rounds, anything can happen.
Yeah, UFC. I mean, it's just one.
They get after.
You could be losing, and then it's just one shot, and you sleep.
They get after it, and so I would say UFC pay-per-view, but not and I like all UFC events, but UFC pay-per-views are next level when it comes to fan experience. It's just they do it better.
Yeah,
they do it better. Super Bowl, NBA final, but the game goes so fast that you really don't get to end. No, in NBA All-Star before NBA Finals. Because NBA All-Stars is the best people watching. It's
Strick and I spent Friday bashing the NBA All-Star game.
But they don't
Strick
even try
misses the
anymore,
environment.
NBA All-Star game, Jay, that's the biggest freak show ever. Like
the people that go to
the
game,
people that go to NBA All-Stars, it's just different. Like you don't even, the game didn't matter, although Mike Tyson era boxing was number 2 to UFC. But there's nobody in boxing now. Bud is close if it's in Omaha, but still not everybody comes to Omaha. They would give away. They go to Vegas.
What about Floyd?
Floyd and Oscar were close. Floyd and Pacquiao, had it been in its prime, would have passed that. Floyd and any one of the top level challengers, but Tyson was different. Tyson was different because he crossed barriers. Holmes, Cooney was close.
Yeah.
But it takes top level. Every UFC.
It takes people in their prime. UFC, the one thing UFC does, and what Dana White for the most part does, is he doesn't let somebody be like Floyd Mayweather and run from a challenger for years and then fight him on the back end like he did with
UFC.
Pacquiao.
You got 2-year window where you're going to face everybody.
You're gonna have to fight some dudes, and you probably won't end up undefeated, but you can still be the best of all time. Like George St. Pierre is probably thought of as one of the best of all time. He has a couple losses.
Yeah, GSP knew. Okay, I need to tiptoe right on out here because MMA evolves.
He became more of a technical fighter
right
towards the end of his career, whereas like he was a knockout artist or kind of very like if he knew. And now I just only watched the interview, or listen to his interview. So he'd be like, "Oh, if this dude, if I got to be more on the ground, then I'd beat him this way. If he's successful to takedowns, I'd do this. Or if I could stand in box, but then he'd work on that. He was very tactical with his versus now, these guys are going in there. They're trying to catch you with one punch.
It's a 3-year evolution of the sport at every weight class, both men's and women's. So imagine that Ronda Rousey was the pioneer.
Yeah, for women, yeah.
And Gina Carano and Cyborg were ahead of her. But Ronda evolved it forward.
To mainstream, yeah.
Right? Where she stalked Cyborg. Well, Holly Holm is stalking Ronda. Right?
I don't even know.
And Amanda is stalking Holly. And it evolves. Right? That all of them, Shevchenko is stalking Nunes, and they met at the Apex. And now there are young fighters who are from the men's side. Look, Conor, they stalked you, bro. They stalked Conor. And while you're being a character, they in the lab getting better.
See, I think what the reason why, which is a good and bad thing, is where UFC's become so popular and that the personalities are more natural than WWF. Like you're really, this is Conor McGregor, who he is, and all this other stuff. So what happens is once you become champion, then you start to get commercials. You start to get other opportunities. Conor McGregor started having his, doing whiskey. I think it is right. Proper number. So so you start to get all these opportunities, right? So then you start to get spread thin. Well, now you're a year and a half off of like really in your training regimen, and then you try to get in there against a guy that's had 2 fights.
Habib was sitting over in the corner with bears.
Yeah. So it's
just okay, Conor.
It's hard for guys to stay focused because they know that you can't fight in the UFC for 15 years, right? So but you have to take advantage outside of the ring because the way Dana White has the contract set up, you're not limited, but Conor McGregor's the only one that he would make concession for. Everybody else, you're kind of fit into a box, and if you hit some different check marks. So now you start to get commercials, opportunities.
John Jones is sitting back going, look, this thing evolved. Daniel Cormier was in a space, right? And then he goes and gets Stipe and then creates its own rivalry while John Jones is sitting out on the outside. Look, we missed out on UFC missed out on its Foreman, on its Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray, Hagler, Duran greatness run where you've got all those 4 elite fighters fighting each other because John Jones didn't hold up his end of the deal. Like he couldn't stay. But imagine the last 2 years if it was Cormier, Stipe, Ngannou, John Jones all fighting each other.
Yeah.
Like we missed out. Now it's evolved. John Jones has to evolve, and he can go up and mess with them big dudes. And Cyril Gane has been sitting there in the lab working.
Yeah.
It's good. Like, I love what UFC does, man. I'll say this. Pecan Pie says this, and I laughed when I read the text. He says, so Jay, you were at the Super Bowl when Ray Lewis had his incident. Yeah, that Atlanta.
Yeah, well, there's 2 incidents. Bruce Smith passed out when our AD Trev Alberts was interviewing on CNN on live TV.
Yep.
And then Ray Lewis had his incident.
That Atlanta, I was there.
I wasn't at that party, but yeah,
I was there in Atlanta, and this is when they had the snowstorm. They had the snowstorm in Atlanta. That Atlanta wasn't ready to handle.
It was like ice. It was like
it was sleet storm. It was a sleet storm. Is a better way to describe it, which was worse.
Yeah, because they don't know how to drive.
Like Atlanta can't drive in dry weather.
Yeah, that's true.
Like those highways of the 404 are terrible.
Yeah.
And add slushy sleet storm overnight with people drinking who don't know the town.
Yeah. On top of it, I always say in Atlanta, they must go to like jacking up cars and stealing rims like class. I've never seen someone come out of a party and so many cars on blocks.
NASCAR training school, bruh.
I mean, they were kids. That was when people was all in their, rims and all this other stuff. They would have your stuff on blocks, bro.
They need to do commercials. We will break your car down in 34 seconds.
Right.
Nuts and we'll keep the nuts and bolts. Like we're them brothers down there do work. Like you pull up to a club with an out-of-state license plate, and you give your car to a random dude talking about, I got your spot for you. Yeah. And you pull up in there, and they will have Jay Foreman's Nebraska plates spinning.
Yeah. Leave you a note. Well, if you want your rims back.
Come to Otis's. Yeah. We got you.
We'll be back. We magically found your rims around the corner. We're going to charge you twice as much.
Man, I was walking down the street, and I found all four of your tires.
Right here. Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. It's but I've never. I mean, I've been to when Roy Jones fought John Ruiz when he went up to heavyweight.
Oh,
that was pretty exciting.
Yes,
that was,
different.
It was different, and there was a lot of people there. That was where, a funny story is. So we're there, and it's a lot of the, my Houston, Texas teammates. We all decided to go out there, go out for the fight. And that was when Don King was trying to get, if you see boxing now, in some match you see exchange.
Yeah.
He was trying to get into sports agency. So he had a lot of free agents out there, like me, like Santana Moss, Laverne, like guys that were kind of on the up or whatever. Plus, like some of my Texas teammates. Where I met Shaq, made me feel like the smallest human being ever. And then I met Don King, and that was eerie just because you got to shake hands with somebody that actually murdered somebody and got away with it.
Gangster.
But
gangster.
So we were in, say we were in row 6.
Okay.
Behind us is Orenthal James Simpson, aka OJ Simpson, and Roy Jones, and the cool thing, I think John Ruiz, he might have been from like Buffalo area or something like that, but Roy Jones had some of his friends there sitting front row, and there's etiquette that you stand up during in between rounds, you sit down during the fight so everybody can see. Where these young gentlemen, this was the funny. These young gentlemen were front row. They had to be friends of somebody because they were in the front. I mean, we were close, but they were up there. They weren't sitting down, and people were like, "Hey, man, we couldn't see the fight, right?" And for the first minute, and so they did it. Then they would stand up for a minute of the round and sit down. They did it for 2 or 3 rounds. Orenthal James is back, and the funny thing is that one of my teammates, Jason Simmons, who's the defensive back coach for the Raiders, he's the guy that has no qualms. He dapped up with OJ, and then he sapped up. He says, "Hey, man," he's like, "That hand was for real. That I can see why he got big old hands. I can see why them gloves ain't fit." He up there, making it light of it, right? And I talked to OJ a little bit, because I knew him or whatever. Third round that they did it, everybody's like, sit down, and then a couple of dudes, like, they had been drinking, so they kind of got an attitude. OJ stood up and said, "Sit the F down," and they didn't know who it was. They turned around and saw it was OJ. All 3 of them sat down. I mean, it was the funniest thing ever, and we all was
sir.
But hold on though, hold on.
Oh,
so
that's
OJ. It's me, Jason Simmons, who's a DB, Eric Brown, who we used to call Wolfman, Mike Rucker, Gary Walker, these are defensive linemen, right?
Foots.
All these dudes, and the guy that they're scared of is Orenthal James Simpson.
Look,
and he got everybody, and everybody gave him a standing ovation. He was like, "Yeah, Orenthal."
Mr. Simpson, my apologies, sir.
They were scared. They were like, "Man, you need to sit down because we want to go home tonight, man."
And he out of town and still at home.
Yeah, this is his house. This is Orenthal's up in here.
OJ, look, man, go OJ, go. Like whatever you gotta say.
Yeah.
Biggest story of San Francisco, Philly. Is it the Super Bowl? Is it the change in what this means for the Niners? The possibility of them, like they walk into a Super Bowl as a 2-point favorite. Like if we said 4 months ago, the Philadelphia Eagles will be a 2-point favorite in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they weren't the preseason pick, but you knew, you knew once they got AJ Brown and how Smith played in his rookie year, you knew with the weapons that they had that if Hurts, played good, they had a chance to, obviously win the East and be a good playoff team. Now, Super Bowl, no, but everything gelled together, and they made some great offseason acquisitions. They got Gardner Johnson and the other defensive back. So now they got one of the better young safeties and the best nickel guy. And so now they got two, and then they got Bradbury, excuse me, and Darius Slay. So now you got, two of the top 6 corners in the league.
And then,
but here's what they're able to do defensively. They're able to essentially, play man to man and do any type of exotic blitzes or coverage that they want, but they don't have to. So now they got 3 pass rushers with over 10 sacks, and then they went and made 2 of the best moves in the season. Everybody's worried about Odell Beckham Jr. They went out and got Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph, the 2 best run defenders in their time that still had plenty of tread on their tires. Let them get healthy. Picked them up in like game 5 or 6, and it's helped their run defense. So the weakness as their second level, they fix it to go along with their offense that is really, really built around Jalen Hurts. So when everybody outside of Philly's, football, building, we're talking about, will the Eagles keep him? They're like, oh, we love this dude. So not only we're going to draft you a number 1 receiver. Now we're going to get you a ready-made number 1 receiver in his prime for pretty much nothing from the Titans, along with one of the best tight ends with the best offensive line in the league. And we're going to use what you do well, and then we're going to put the pressure on you to become a better passer. And it's a perfect mix because 1, he's a great leader. Number 2, he wants to get better. Number 3, it's kind of like with Josh Allen when he had Greg Roman up there or whatever. They're using all of his strengths to be positives on the field. And then you have the marriage between head coach or GM or GM/owner or owner/GM, head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback. Then everything else is set after that. And so, they always have had talent. They've always had a talented defensive line. They picked up Darius Slay, I think, last year. So what Philly's done is when they've traded for guys, they've always hit. When they've drafted guys, they believed in them, even back when Andy Reid was there. So Jalen Hurts took a next step, but what they did was they accelerated that in the warp speed by playing to his strengths. And then the whole team, then they say, okay, now we got to fix it. So they're set up to be successful. And then you already had a dude in Fletcher Cox. You got Graham, you got Sweat. Then you went up and got just a sneaky,
like nobody knew that your newest player is going to be off the charts good.
Well, Hassan Reddick was down in Arizona playing with Pocket Hercules, and he had 12 sacks there. And Arizona was like, yeah, thanks. Thanks for leading the league in sacks, but you can go back to your hometown and play with 2 or 3 legitimate pass rushers. And then now they're playing with leads. Now it's like, just go wreck havoc.
Yeah. How good is their GM? Like, is that not the executive of the?
Here's why he built the team up the first time. Drafted Carson Wentz. I felt like Carson Wentz possibly could have won the MVP until he blown out his ACL out there playing the Rams.
Yep.
They had Nick Foles. They got him on like for nothing. Built that team up, made a Super Bowl run. Then had to hang his hat on Carson Wentz to give him a new contract, right? And kind of broke up the momentum, right? But the defense still was there because Fletcher Cox and those guys were young enough. Then he said, then they were talking about firing him.
Yeah.
Because of giving Carson Wentz the contract and letting Nick Foles go. You got rid of, both of them reluctantly.
Lost some receivers.
Lost some receivers and just, lost their mojo, right? Well, what does he do next?
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, we're going to, okay, yeah, we need to change the head coach. You're a Super Bowl winning head coach, but the message might have got watered down. Okay, we're just going to do a reset. But when we do a reset, we're going to make sure we address the number 1 position that's most important, and that's the quarterback position.
Can Philadelphia fans hate Andy Reid?
Why? Yeah, I mean, first of all, Philly fans are the worst in the nation.
Right? Like they're going to find a reason to take Uncle Andy.
They're gonna
make it personal.
They're gonna talk about his family and all that. I mean, Philly fans are just gonna they just don't know how to have nice things. They're just,
so when Andy goes in the Hall of Fame, he goes in as a Chiefs, right?
What? Yeah, probably.
Does he mention the Eagles?
Yeah, Andy Reid's a first class dude. He will. He goes. Look, that's where they won. That's where he'll coach at the Chiefs as long as he wants, and he'll probably. I'm assuming if he doesn't win it this time, he'll win another Super Bowl, and then he'll decide to eat
walk off.
cheeseburger.
Yeah. He'll say, I'm done. He'll pop a beer and say, I'm done. Thanks for coming. We'll throw it to break. When we come back, I'm going to task Jay Foreman with this, and we'll go into Chiefs Eagles, and we'll start with quarterback position. If it's the Fighting Foremans and Jay can only choose one of these two quarterbacks, injured ankle Mahomes or Jalen Hurts, but he's building the perfect Super Bowl team, who does Jay Foreman take? Who does Jay Foreman take? Does he take Hurts, healthy Hurts, or hobbled Mahomes?
Healthy Hurts.
Jay Foreman will let us know. We'll talk about Super Bowl quarterback play when we come back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
Hey guys, Nick Sadert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. I experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves the soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs because the technique is not a cookie-cutter approach. Allow Spine and Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsurancene.com. Hair loss and thinning is chronic, progressive, and frustrating. What we know is that the earlier it's diagnosed and treated aggressively, the better the long-term results. QC Kinetics offers a unique and comprehensive approach to restoring and improving hair follicle density and hair thickness. The majority of hair loss can be managed medically without the need for surgery. Their multifaceted approach to hair restoration allows them to help you improve both the appearance and thickness of your hair. Call QC Kinetics in Lincoln today at 402-205-4270 or go to QCkinetics.com.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Man, like I said, sometimes y'all miss out on not being here during the breaks. Jay Foreman, Professor Foreman was in his bag, but we want to break into it because this is what we were talking about. That I asked him this question that we'll add a third team that could pick from both of these two teams, call them the Fighting Foremans, and allow Jay Foreman to go through and choose which of the two situations from either team he would prefer, that he would choose for the Fighting Foreman to take the field with. And we started with the critical position of quarterback. And we don't know, we can't forecast 2 weeks into the health of Patrick Mahomes. We can only take him as he is. And then Jalen Hurts and what he showed up as yesterday. Jay Foreman, which quarterback do you take for the sake of winning this game? Who's going to –
taking, without a doubt, Patrick Mahomes, and that's nothing against Jalen Hurts. Patrick Mahomes obviously has the pedigree. He's played well. He's shown you he can play well with his back against the wall with injuries. He didn't blink, and, he's the best quarterback in the league. Now, Jalen Hurts is an ascending player, and time will tell. But, and I mean, you can't go wrong because I think they're the two, best guys or two of the best guys. But I'm going to go to win a Super Bowl. I'm going with Patrick Mahomes.
Like it's for what's going to be done. And then I'll ask the question secondary to that. Which of those quarterbacks have the easiest task in their opponents? From a matchup standpoint, what's going to be asked of them, what they're going to have to do, what each quarterback is going to have to do to be successful against the opposing defense. And we'll say front seven for starters. So Mahomes versus the Eagles defense, what's he going to face and what's going to be his issue?
Well, I mean, look, the pass rush just jumps off the charts, or just their defensive line. I mean, first of all, Philly is extremely physical. Okay, and so is Kansas City. Quiet as kept. Don't sleep. They're physical too. But I think Philly's defensive line is a harder task for Patrick Mahomes, just because of the depth and the variety of players that you have to face. You got to think, Hassan Reddick, it should be up for Defensive Player of the Year. Then you got Brandon Graham, who seems like he's been there forever. Then you got Sweat, and then you got Fletcher Cox, who's possibly, if he has a really, really good couple years, he might, depending,
he's in
down
the
road, for Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And then you got the House of Spears and Linval Joseph, just hanging out there to just come beat you up. So now they can bully you as far as strength up the middle and depth. And they have multiple passers. So Patrick Mahomes has the harder task, based on just those guys, because they cover up and make their second level of Philly a lot better than they actually are. And they have excellent secondary at all two levels. That means corners, nickels, and safety play. Now I think their deep safeties don't tackle as well. So I'm sure Andy Reid is going to focus on that, but it's hard to really focus on that when you got guys just breathing down your neck. I mean, the way that they beat San Francisco up front especially in the interior. And sometimes, well, first of all, San Francisco, I think, out scheme themselves. There's no way in the world you're paying all these offensive tackles tens and 20 millions of dollars. Why are you having a counter action, not once, not twice, but 3 times? Him trying to block Hassan Reddick off the edge is literally asking for,
They told you first time this ain't gonna work.
Right.
I told you second time this ain't gonna work.
The third time you hard headed, and that's what happens. And so, it'll be interesting to see, how Andy Reid and Spagnuolo, goes about this 2 weeks, because they got 2 of the better coaches that have the experience of getting ready for big games. And shutting it. First of all, Spagnuolo has done a really good job at times shutting down high-powered offenses. People don't realize that he was a Giants defensive coordinator. Both times they beat the Patriots. And he's obviously Kansas City as well. So he's a guy that knows what he's doing. I think he cut his teeth at Philly early on. So he's a Philly guy as well. So they got pride on the line. And but Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the offense of Kansas City do have their work cut out for them, though.
Let's go to the running back position. What are we working with KC and Philly?
You got 2 of the guys that are the same. I think they both, have 2. Miles Sanders had a really good year last year, was decent this year. Not as consistent, but I think with the emergence of Jalen Hurts and the 2 receivers and Goddard, their tight end, that kind of takes away from his carry. So I don't think it's anything that, him personally, is just opportunities were less, excuse me. And then I think the emergence of Pachinko at Kansas City has really, really helped him. He was behind the law firm. Law firm got hurt. He took over, and a sneaky good pickup was McKinnon getting healthy, because he gives them versatility, right? That's something that maybe Philly doesn't have, because he can run wide receiver routes. So that means you could have technically 22 personnel in with both of the Kansas City starting running backs in, but then you can split him out in the slot, and he's a huge matchup problem even for strong safeties, and he has excellent hands. And so Kansas City down the stretch of this season, I think he went on a 4 or 5 game streak of scoring at least 1 touchdown in McKinnon. So I think Kansas City might have the slight edge. But I think the Eagles are just as good because they have depth. They got Scott that can come in. They got 14, who's kind of emerged himself as kind of Pachenko-esque, right?
Mm-hmm.
Change the pace, but he tries to run physical. And you got Sanders. So, but they both got 2 good offensive lines. I'd probably say the Lane Johnson coming back probably is the biggest reason. I know Jalen Hurts is coming back, but I think Lane Johnson coming back is probably the biggest reason for Philly being as dominant they are right now, because he's a dude.
The receiver groups, and you have to be specific when you talk about this, that Kelsey is the receiver group for Kansas City in its best, highest form. So you got to consider tight ends in this space. But what the Eagles do with their receivers and their tight ends and the expectation of what they do, which group pops as they're going to have some advantage? Is Kelsey enough to make KC's receiving group the top group in the game?
I don't know if he is, but dang near close. He's a problem. He's a problem for anybody to cover, including corner.
Best receiver on the field?
He's a guy that I would pick number 1.
That's over Brown and
that's saying
Smith.
A lot. That's saying a lot, because those 2 dudes that Philly got are the real deal.
Yeah.
And the Philly's got Goddard, who's a great tight end as well. But Travis Kelce's on another level, because there's corners out there that go to the Pro Bowl that can't cover him. So because you got to think last year in the playoffs, I think he went against Ward, the Pro Bowl cornerback. Kelce gave him some Ginsus, and that opened the game up. So, but I think that Philly has depth wise as far as, look, you got 2 number 1 receivers, a Pro Bowl tight end,
running back second
catch. So I think Philly has the edge. But what Kansas City does is different, right? They don't lean on 2 guys outside. They lean on a multitude of guys. It's almost like everybody's gonna get theirs, but we're gonna see who gets hot. And really, when they were adding guys in the off season after they losing Tyreek Hill, right? Scantley and all the those guys kind of under their Juju Smith, right? They weren't like big names, but they always fit a role, right? There was a couple games this year Juju got off. You seen Scantley yesterday. They had Hardman. He's had a couple big games. Then they picked up Tony after he got released, and they kind of got him going. Now he's a matchup problem. So then they drafted Sky Moore, who's done some good things in the return game. Obviously had a huge return, but then also in catching some big, so then the depth there is what they're trying to do. So you don't know who you got, and they're all different type of body types and skill types. So with that, Kansas City can cause some matchup problems because they can target one person and say, we need you to be spectacular today. And if that happens, then the weight of going from the Philly having an advantage, then it's more even because you got to figure Travis Kelce can do whatever they can run some screens for him. If they can run wide receiver screens for him because he's really good to run after the catch. He can be short area. He can be your emergency guy. He can catch in traffic. So he's a matchup problem. If you try to double Travis Kelce, Andy Reid will scheme up something to take advantage of your weaknesses. So it's going to come down to, like it always does in these big games, who does better on third down, who tackles what better. And that's going to be huge. Who recognizes the tendencies that, earlier in the game and, makes the other teams adjust, and you got to be ready for it. And, both teams have a little bit of weaknesses, but not much. They're both well-coached teams. Philly, Philly's coach embodies Philly. He's the younger guy, likes to talk about toughness, brash, kind of straightforward. He ain't backing down from anybody. You saw it when they went down and beat Indianapolis, and Frank Wright Frank Wright had hired him at Indy, and then he got the job. So he shot Indy the bird. So he lets you know that he's a guy that can get guys to rally around him. You've seen the team, right? And they really, really, really like him, and they really play for him. And then Andy Reid's the same. I mean, and so both of these coaches do one thing well. You can tell that they communicate clearly and effectively with their players, and they care. They care about their players. You can just tell with how they interact with them,
and the players care about them.
Right. So it's a reciprocated relationship, and so when they're out there, it's not oh, you work for me, and business as usual.
Do what I say. Give me what I need.
They're in it together.
I got you, coach.
Right. And I mean, and they have humility as well. They're talking about Philly's coach, where his first press conference, he didn't look too good, right? Because I mean, that's a lot of pressure to get up in the Philly media, right?
Oh boy.
But then as the season went on, he did better. So he showed it to the team and said, look, we all didn't start out on the right foot, but look where we are now. We in this together. So that lets you know that he's able to, in the time of high intensity anxiety, getting ready for the NFC Championship, he can dummy it down to get on the level of players. Say, look, when you're out there tomorrow, I know I ain't there with you, but I am. And so that's huge in this situation. I mean, I've never been able to be blessed to be that far in the playoffs, but I mean, obviously I've been on enough winning teams that you know the difference between winning and losing.
What city does this mean the most to?
I mean, both cities would tell it each,
right? Like,
two different fan bases.
Well,
right?
but you get to call it from 20,000 feet.
You got
right?
Philly fans,
right?
I think it was either Philly or Cleveland. Which one was where the guy ate the horse poop? Was that Philly when they won it the first time?
Oh, good heavens! Please,
yeah. Well, they did. I think it was Philly. It was either Philly or Cleveland after the. Was it?
Oh, that was the Eagles.
Yeah, it was the Eagles. yeah. The Eagles.
Like that should have been a trivia question. Which fan base would eat horse poop for a Super Bowl win
at the parade? So, but then you got Kansas City fans that have come in to start, and it's kind of been building, right? You got to think Kansas City. They had some really, really great teams when Dick Vermeil was there with Priest Holmes and those guys, and they were so close.
Yeah, they fought over Vermeil, like rights to Vermeil too, right?
But then they also had, they had good teams when Herm Edwards was there.
Yeah.
And then they went through a little lull, right? And then they got lucky with Andy Reid. And then Andy Reid instantly turned them around with Alex Smith. And then they were like, oh, you don't want this generational quarterback. We're going to bring him here, send him down for a year. And then we're going to get rid of the guy that won 15 games and replace it with somebody better. And now they're – so I don't know who it would mean more to, but both of them act like they run the world right now.
Yeah, and I would say the Philly was just in the World Series, right? And they have expectation of being in the NBA Finals.
If Philly wins, Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers have so much pressure, and if if Philly wins, they think they're the sports mecca of the whole.
Oh, they're
rivalry.
going to reclaim it, and they're going to stand on the bridge to Pittsburgh and finger wave and look down at DC and stick their tongue out.
I mean, in Philly, I remember we played out in Philly one time, and we're driving. And this was at their old stadium, so you park underneath, like you go kind of like, and it was like, I don't know if it was beer coming out of there, but it was like water.
That was yellow water.
Yeah,
that
so
was not beer, Jay Foreman.
And they had beat us.
Better or worse than Boulder?
That was not beer.
So we were leaving, so you leave and you take a right and you kind of go up and kind of get on field level because you leave from down under. So and then you're stuck in traffic, right? First of all, you lose to Philly, and it wasn't a great game because when I was in Houston, and so I'm just sitting, in my seat next to the window. You look over. I mean, this kid had to be 8 years old at the most with his dad, right, at a game, and they're giving us all the business. He tapped his kid on the shoulder and was like, "Do it." He shot us all the birds.
Oh,
and then all the fans around the kid
cheered him.
They
cheered him on because attaboy.
Yeah.
Start
him young.
You're done good. You're done good.
So
you raised him good.
He was but, and you know who he is now? You know who he is now? He was the guy that was giving Joey Bosa all the business before he was going to watch.
Yeah. Look, man.
And dang, that San Francisco's defensive line got thrown out the club.
Oh man,
They ID was expired.
They just said they were offended that they even tried to get in the club.
68 ragdoll Nick Bosa. Like you did something
How dare you come to my club with no calves?
Yeah, no calves.
You don't have any working calf muscles. Why would you come and how dare you offend
I remember when you were talking about Colton Feast, man. I ain't never laughed so hard. I ain't never laughed so hard.
Man.
Did you do squats?
Did you miss every squat day? We would throw it to break when we come back. When we come back, we'll talk about these head coaches. Because there's two to talk about, the personas of these cities personified. We will talk more about the Eagles head coaches and the Chiefs head coaches when we come back to Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com. Because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
This is Sam Greasel from the Nebraska men's basketball team. I'm here to tell you about my favorite men's store in Nebraska, and that's Gary Michaels Clothiers in Lincoln. When I went off to college, I purchased my suit from them and another when I attended Big Ten Media Day. Their fashion sense, clothing knowledge, and tailoring is unparalleled. Simply said, no one does it better than Gary Michaels Clothiers, located in Village Gardens, 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, wanting to say Happy New Year and thank you to all of you for your continued support. We have just closed out another outstanding year, and we want to start 2023 off with a bang. The new GMC and Chevrolet inventory continues to roll in, and I'll actually be picking up my 2023 GMC later this month. So with interest rates continuing to climb, Coppell is partnering with General Motors and now offering 2.9% APR on select models. So we invite you to the dealership. Check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsurancenE.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. The best way to strengthen our economy for the long term is investing in our education system and raising the skills of American workers. To succeed in the global economy, we need to modernize our schools, hire excellent teachers, and focus on the future. Support great public schools, and we can make the good life even better.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association. Aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to Old School with DP and J.
We rooting for him. We rooting for you. Final segment, Old School. Don't go anywhere. Speed and Power. Nori and Megan will come in and take you through 2 hours. Then they'll hand it over to Talking Tens. They've got a big week. They've got Illinois next Monday, so they'll have this week, and then they'll take a break next week because they'll be at Devaney Center a week from Monday, and then Inside the Pocket, where the Husker ladies bowling went and faced all top 10 teams in a 20-team tournament, a 25-team tournament, and finished third. They knocked off number one McKendree, which is a big statement,
right,
for them after winning the championship a week ago. So they've had two really good back-to-back weeks. Great performances up and down the lineup for Coach, and so look, it's a good thing. So we'll hear from them as well, and then Single H. We've nicknamed Harrison Arns. We now call him instead of Triple H, he is Single H because his promo was stellar. So he will get us through that hour as well. And then tomorrow again, here on Old School, Frances Reimers, CEO, Firestarter CEO, will join us and make her first in-studio appearance. We haven't talked to her in a while, but she's connected and can help us with marketing and NIL and some of the things that are going on in athletics on both the collegiate and pro level, and maybe change the way we think about it because she has that kind of perspective. And so I'm looking forward to having her in studio as well. Jay, let's talk about these two head coaches. And Philadelphia's found lightning in a bottle and a coach that kind of represents the city and the mindset.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's from Philly. No disrespect, but he looks like a Philly guy. He always has a 5 o'clock shadow. Preaches.
That really is a perfect definition of Philly.
Preaches toughness. He looks like a Philly guy, but then He's young, he's energetic, he's brash, he's confident, but he's not cocky or arrogant. He's embraced being in Philly, and he embraces the pressure. I think a lot of times he's done a really good job for being such a young coach. He takes the pressure off of the team, which is very commendable, and it's a unique skill set that a lot of coaches, old and new, don't understand or know how to do. And so I think it's a good marriage, considering that, Philly's had really good coaches. You got to think they've had Andy Reid, right? And then they had, Doug Peterson, and then they have him.
Didn't they have Rhodes for a bit?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just talking about the last, long guys. And so he's put them in a position, along with like I said before, along with the GM and ownership, that are lock and step on fixing any type of issues before they become problems. I think that what they've done is, hopefully, it's all a copycat league, right? You saw, the Rams just go, we don't need these picks. We're going star power. We're going to go all in for just one Super Bowl, right? And I think Philly took a little bit more of a prudent type of approach. We're going to pick and choose, and we're going to get guys that fit our city and our scheme, and we're going to address issues before they become problems. So it's not a weak link on tape, whereas some teams wait till the bottom falls out and then they're desperate shopping. Scramble. So they've been able to do that and make trades during the season. They've done a really good job of doing it, and they always have for the most part. And then with Andy Reid, I think he's, from the day he went to Kansas City, I felt like he was a perfect fit. Kansas City's a football town. I think that he won so much in Philly that, it came so I wouldn't say easy, but then they're like, okay, well, you got to do more. Well, when you're dealing with Tom Brady and all that stuff, that's a little bit harder to do more. And the Giants were good then, and all this, so there's other factors. And so, he goes to Kansas City and turns them around, quickly. And so that lets you know what he did in Philly was the real deal. And then, I think the same marriage between, the Hunt family and Andy Reid, drafting, developing players, going out and one thing that I can't speak for the coach at Philly, but one thing I could talk about Andy Reid is he's done, especially if you want to say Tyreek Hill, what he's done, and even Hunt, the running back, what he's done is he's taken guys that are a little edgy, put them in a structured environment, held them accountable, and helped them off the field. When you hear people talk about Andy Reid, he cares about them as people, all of his players, and which allows guys to go out there and play for him. So it's a perfect match what he's done, down there in Kansas City. And there's going to be a lot of headlines and stuff like that. I just expect it to be a good game. When teams can get healthy, 2 weeks, get all your Super Bowl tickets and stuff out of the way, and it's not as rushed. It's almost 2 weeks is too far, too long. You wish it was kind of like maybe Super Bowl Friday or something, Super Bowl Thursday, so you can kind of get into it, versus 2 weeks is, I think, a little too long, because sometimes you can lose your momentum. Like Philly is been so dominant, maybe they kind of lose a little bit of their edge. Kansas City catches something, but I think it's going to be a pretty good Super Bowl here in 2 weeks' time.
It's going to be an interesting trip. Again, I think there'll be several stories, and it will develop along. Health will be an issue.
Yeah,
recovery will be an issue.
That's at the forefront. And what team handles the outside influences the best.
Yeah, it's going to be exceptional. Again, that'll be it for us. Speed and Power. Nori Megan will take you through the next 2 hours, and then talking tens, and then in the pocket with the young ladies, Amara.
You got 48 hours to the second signing day, man.
Yeah, it's tick, tick, tick. We're going to try to get Kenny back as well.
But you know what, though? If I was a recruit, I ain't committing to 11:59 tomorrow night.
Hold your
Especially
voice.
if I'm a wide receiver.
Several different offers.
Nah, man, because they got about 50 dudes in there. I got to make sure I'm the last one, and I got to know where I stand.
Several offers in play.
I got to make sure I know where I stand, man.
Gonna be interesting.
I ain't trying to show up and have DP up in there, and then I'm trying to get some reps.
Yeah, and then you go in as DP and find out Gary Clark in there. You got Nori, Megan, Harrison up next here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for The Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relieved. The team at The Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. The best way to strengthen our economy for the long term is investing in our education system and raising the skills of American workers. To succeed in the global economy, we need to modernize our schools, hire excellent teachers, and focus on the future.